Hello everyone, welcome to my Wednesday forecast, and let's take a look at the euro and the US dollar. So we had this descending as I was speaking about yesterday. So let me draw it. Nice large descending, and we had a smaller descending inside of the larger one. So that is a high probability chance that price will reverse to the upside, which it actually did. So we got the reversal right here. Then we got a huge wick at the top, and at that point I was not looking for any trades after that huge wick. I was maybe looking for a flag, and if we got maybe a wide range, I would consider that, but it just retraced, created a descending, and for me it was a no trade. So I am currently waiting for the break of the high or the low, not looking for any trades at this point because of that huge wick. And what I can forecast is that we continue ranging inside of the high and the low. Definitely a possibility. What I'm searching for is I'm searching for a trend to start to the upside, and then I would look for a flag, because you then get this descending impulse to the upside, pullback, continuation to the upside. So definitely high probability to continue trending up. Or I would look for an impulse, a pullback, break and retest, something like this. I would also see if we maybe start to get a ascending, so the move is being exhausted, then we get a flag entry to the downside. Also would be interested in that thing, in that sort of a trade. Or we can get a push to the downside. If it's a large push, I would look for a flag, and we can also start to descend, get a reversal, nice large impulse, and then look for a flag along. So if we do continue ranging right here, I need to be aware of the liquidity areas, as I talk about regularly. So people stops are right here, and there is a high chance that we will just break into the liquidity area and retrace. So what I want to see a large impulse, I want to see some conviction, and then I would look for a flag. So that's it for the euro and the US dollar. Currently, as I said, waiting for the break of the low or the high, and waiting to see if the price will start trending to the upside from this descending structure. As we know, when we get a descending structure, there is a high chance that price will reverse and start trending in the opposite direction. So yeah, let's switch over to the euro and the Japanese yen. This one, well, we had a similar story. We had a large descending. Inside of it we had this smaller descending right here. So we knew that there was a high probability price will reverse, which it then did, but at the top of the impulse it created an ascending structure, signaling that the momentum has been exhausted and that the price is likely to reverse to a downside. So this is the pattern, and we reversed to a downside, but then I drew this doesn't have to be here. So then we broke the low, got some momentum, but then created these double wicks and retraced straight away. So for me this was a no trade right here. I didn't even look for a short trade out of this ascending and then impulse down, because for me it was just too range bound. We had this descending into an ascending, so this push was not enough for me. I want to see more of a push, more of an impulse. This was not enough. So what happened then? Maybe some people entered right here on a short trade, and then they were able to reduce the risk right here when we broke the low. But for me, it didn't fit my plan. Now we created a descending, and then we impulsed to the upside. So for me, I have to say this is not looking that good. This impulse, we are currently range bound. I classify this as range bound price action. Why? Well, because we had a descending right here into an ascending, into another descending structure, and this impulse is just not looking that good for an entry. So I would consider maybe looking for a flag, but I'm not really seeing much conviction by these with this impulse. especially because the prior price action has been range bound, and what I'm expecting actually is to see a larger range, something like this. So what I would really like to see, I would like to see a break of the high and then a retest, so break and retest trade, or I would like to see a large impulse to the upside, then a flag, or maybe we get an ascending structure and then a reversal, look for a flag to the short side, or maybe we start to descend, reverse to the upside, look for a long trade, maybe we get a large impulse down and then look for a short trade, or we look for a large impulse, pull back another impulse, break and retest trade. This would signal a trend to the downside. But currently overall picture for me personally is range bound right here, and I'm searching for some more momentum. I'm searching for a large impulse to signal to me that the market is ready to move in one direction. This was, as I said, this is a descending, and this is an okay impulse out of a descending, but when looking at the prior price action, I just don't really like it right here. So yeah, waiting to see what happens on this pair. And now let's take a look at the Aussie and US dollar. This one is finally showing us some movement. So we had this range, this massive range. There was a clear liquidity area, which you can see it went into it, retraced, went into it, retraced, left huge wicks on the bottom. So on the bottom was also a liquidity area, but then we finally broke out of the range, and this is a common pattern, so we can get a large range like we are getting here, and then we start the large trend. So it's a very good sign that we broke out. This is now showing me some strength, and this is showing me some cleaner price action, because if you take a look at the prior price action, it was very dirty with a lot of wicks, no conviction, just ranging. So I do really like this, and I do classify this as a large impulse. So I am looking for a flag here. If we do get a nice clean small flag, I'm in that, especially because on top we didn't get a large wick. We did get two smaller wicks, but they are not a real concern for me. What I would really like to see is a break and retest trade signaling a trend. That would be really high probability, or a large impulse and then look for a flag. What can happen, we can start to ascend, signaling that this move is exhausted, and then look for a reversal and a short trade, or we can just shoot to a downside from here and then get this V reversal, look for a range, continuation in this direction of the second leg. So this is the V, this is the second leg, this is the small range, this is the continuation of this second leg, and then I look for short trades, or we can get a large impulse, look for a flag to go short. Also we can start to create a descending structure, reverse to the upside, look for a long trade. But yeah, really happy that we are getting some moves and that we broke out of this larger range, and I like this impulse. It is showing me momentum. The candles are really strong. There are 3 candles, large impulse. So let's see if we can get maybe some trending market and get into some nice trades on the Aussie and US dollar. But if that doesn't happen, I will wait to see if the move is, as I said, exhausted, or if we reverse straight from here. So no expectations, but at least the market is starting to make some moves and starting to shape up. So let's look at the final pair. The Aussie and the Japanese yen, very similar to the Aussie and the US dollar, had this range, large massive range, liquidity area above and below, huge wicks, break, retrace, break, retrace, break, retrace, right here, break, retrace from the liquidity area. So we can really see that people keep their stops in these areas, and that the traders are on the lower time frames playing the range. They're buying on the bottom of the range, selling on the top of the range. And now we broke out of that range with conviction. But compared to the Aussie and the US dollar, we did leave a large wick at the top right here. So I would be looking for a flag right here. Maybe if we get a small range, then look for this sort of a flag. I do like this impulse, so it fits my plan. I do like how we broke out of the range. So this is showing me conviction. And what I would like to see, what I would really like to see is another push to the upside, a retest of the most recent high to enter on a trend trade, because then that would signal a trend. For me, a trend is a push, pull back, another push, something like this. Or maybe we get a large impulse and then look for a flag. Or we don't even have to get an impulse, we can get an ascending, then reverse, look for a reversal trade. Or we can get this V, same as on the Aussie US dollar, small range, continuation of the second leg, look for a short trade. Or a large impulse to the downside, look for a flag. Also a possibility is a descending, reversal to the upside, and look for a long trade. We can just start to create a range right here. That is also a possibility. And then I would also look for liquidity areas below and above. And I would need to see how we reach the liquidity area. Do we just break into the liquidity area and retrace, or do we get some conviction and then a opportunity to enter? So that is it. The Aussie pairs are starting to show me some moves. The Euro pairs are looking to be slowing down a bit. So let's see what the next couple of days bring us. We know that Mondays and Tuesdays are predominantly range bound, so I can expect some moves today and on Thursday and Friday. So yeah, that is it for the forecast, and I will see you guys in the next one.